go, turn it up, let it start. From block to block, we snatching hearts and jacking marks. And the for all those motherfuckers that swearing to God that they doing something, that they touching something, that they being something. Y'all niggas ain't shit. That's on my mama, bring the drama, nigga. Young thug, some say my criminal experience is legendary. I do what's necessary. Niggas wanna see me worry. If you come and hurry.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the morning Toke. My name's Eddie Law. Just a heads up, little update here. I will be having this on an actual video. Right now, I'm live off my phone, and how I'm pulling that off, it's very what do you call it? Annoying to even to set up, but it's very annoying to even explain. But trust me, it's working right now. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, if you're not familiar with the show, it's the morning Toke. It's the first thing whatever's on my mind in the morning when I wake up, and whatever I catch on YouTube or whatever. I'm thinking on my way to work. There's usually about a 15-minute show, sometimes longer depending on traffic, but lately it's been about 15 minutes. So welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying this live on Sportscaster. And yeah, so here we go. I just guys heard a bunch yesterday. Oh, by the way, little update. I'm gonna have this. I'm actually gonna have a camera on this thing soon. I found a nice little app I could put on my iPhone to have good quality video, and I'm hoping that I can find my my lavalier mic that I can hook up to this and have good audio. So I'm hoping to be able to do a nice little decent quality show live off my phone. We'll see how that plays out. Actual live online with internet connections being complete crap and everything. So anyway, that's coming soon. All right, folks. So last night, obviously, we know about the Blake situation over in Wisconsin. Black man shot in the back 7 times. We can go into details and all that stuff about what happened and everything, but bottom line, NBA players, and if you look at the NBA, it's mostly black players, decided that they were going to make a statement, starting with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks arena is about 35 miles away from Kenosha, Wisconsin, where all this went down, where there's currently protests going down and other crazy stuff with that. And so the Bucks took it upon themselves to sit out Game 5 of their playoff series with the Orlando Magic. They did not really consult other teams yet. So, other teams did get caught off guard a bit, especially the Orlando Magic, who were out there warming up. And then someone actually came out and told them, yeah, the Bucks aren't coming out. So that's where we are with that as far as the Bucks go. But later that night, the NBA postponed all playoff games for yesterday, and now the season seems to be in question, right? It's very telling that all these players decided, well, no, we're not going to play. To me, what's more telling are the reactions from people out here, the regular folks, the fans. Some not so fans, and some not so fans any longer, right? And the reason why it's not only say shocking, because I'm not surprised about people being like unwilling to understand other human beings. I get it. We're as human beings, I think most people are pretty selfish if we look at it, but we can discuss that some other time. But and selfish in their thoughts, right? Maybe not so much their actions, but in their the way they feel about things. Like if it doesn't affect them, it's not real type of stuff. We've seen that with COVID and other things, and police brutality especially. But the reaction from fans have been wild, right? And by that, what I mean is people saying, "Oh, well, they won't cancel the season. Their paychecks are in the balance." Or easy for them to do that. They get paid millions. Or they don't have anything to worry about. Like you're not understanding the issue here. They might be people of note, people of fame, people that make millions of dollars. Not all of them, let's say most of them, right? They might all be well off. A couple things you need to understand: most of them are not, or did not grow up that way. Most of them grew up in poor neighborhoods, in poor homes, you know, in poverty. Most of them grew up, you know, in impoverished neighborhoods and underserved communities and everything. They understand what it's like to live out in you know in places where you worry about gang violence, you worry about violence in general, you worry about police brutality. They know what it's like to live out there. The difference now is that they have a voice because you watch them on television, because you own their jersey or you root on for their team. They have a voice that you will listen to. So they're voicing their minds. They're putting out their statement, right? That's why they're doing it. Because the people that are involved in these police brutality situations and that are victims of this stuff, they don't have that voice. They don't have that ability to get on Twitter or or affect the game that you're watching or whatever. I find it weird that we can't sympathize with a fellow human being regardless of color and race. A lot of people have been saying like, well, why are they making that about race? Why are they making it about race? Indirectly, we are. Everyone here is kind of too. And directly, you are too. Whoever says that, right? Because it's not affecting you. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying no. Look, we talked about it before on this show that there's been plenty of times where white folks have been the victim of police brutality or of police I don't know, whatever you want to call it, like wrongdoings, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I know it's a rough one. The fella down here in Phoenix, Arizona, not too long ago, like in fact, just literally a couple miles from where I live, some lady next door called, and they're in an apartment complex. Someone next door called and said that they heard domestic violence. Called the cops. Cops go over to the apartment, knock on the door. Fella comes out, gun in hand, complies with what they're saying, down on his knees, and shoot him in the back and kill him. That couple was not fighting. They were playing a video game. They were playing a video game. They had just gotten back from their oldest graduating high school just down the street. Their daughter had graduated high school, and they had gotten to do some, their little socially distant, whatever graduation, and they got home and they were playing video games, and somebody heard that, thought it was domestic violence, called them. That couple, that family, have had trouble with people in that neighborhood, and so they've been getting messed with. So the man, the husband, the father, understandably so, and using the laws, the tools that the law allows in the state, which is guns, answered the door with a weapon, not pointing at anybody, pointing it down and everything. And when he saw his police officers, he complied with what they were saying. That word comply gets thrown around a lot right now. He complied with what they were saying, and they still shot him in the back. Killed him. Dead. On the day of his daughter's graduation. White guy. Mr. Blake in Wisconsin, for whatever he was doing, was walking away, getting into his vehicle where he had his kids in there. And everyone's like, well, he did this, he did that, he was this, he was that. It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to shoot. You're not supposed to kill guilty people either. It's not your job. As police, that's not your job. They're not judge, jury, and executioner. Their job, and mind you, that Mr. Blake did not die, but he allegedly, supposedly, I haven't seen anything solid on it, but he's supposedly paralyzed from the waist down. But whatever he was doing, he was not harming anybody. Walking to his car, and the cops came behind him, were grabbing his shirt, pulling at him, and shot him in the back 7 times. That action alone, the shooting someone in the back like that 7 times in the back when they are not a threat to you at that moment. And it was like, well, maybe he was reaching for this, maybe he was reaching for that. Dude, he had him handful of the shirt, yanking at him and blasting away at him. You know what I mean? Like, put yourself in that man's shoes, Mr. Blake's shoes. Put yourself in that dude's shoes. Or put someone you know in those shoes. If that was a white dude, would you be up in arms? If that was your friend, your brother, your sister, would you be up in arms? I'm sure you would be. And plenty of people blaming the media. It was because they only put this up and they only put that up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why? Because any color you are, you should be pissed off about this. I just gave you an example from Phoenix, Arizona, a white dude. Take the race out of it. That's just goddamn wrong. No matter who it was, it's wrong. It just happens to be that it seems to happen more to black people than anybody else. I had one of my friends yesterday had the balls to ask me, "Why are you pissed, dude? You're not black." And I said, "You know what? You're right. The plight my people are in are getting put, getting separated from their children and getting put in cages. Their children getting put in cages. In Texas, getting put in hotels, awaiting deportation. Because as long as they're out of our hands, fuck them. Who gives a shit what happens to them? That's the way the governments were acting. There's no compassion there. That compassion has been long gone. Blame whatever you want, but blame whatever and whoever you want, but that shit's gone." But I told him, I said, "Dude, you never know." I said, I was pissed about the white dude down the street getting killed like that by the cops. I was pissed about that because that's bullshit. Like you can't really. Police have a really, really hard job to do. They have an impossible job, honestly, if you think about it. They have to go into a situation with very little information and try to peacefully, bring it to a conclusion as peaceful as possible. And sometimes that's not possible. But man, there's got to be a better way than what they've done. In Blake's case, and in George Floyd's case, certainly, that was some straight up evil shit right there, in my opinion. And this dude, I think his name is Whitaker or Whitmire or something like that, down the street from where I live, in his case, it's got to be a better way. This isn't about the people and the actual bad. I know there's the bad apple thing and all that. Excuse me. This is a system problem. This is something that needs to be changed within the system of policing that will allow us so this does not happen. At the very least, it doesn't happen as often. God damn, ever since, George Floyd got shot like that, it's happening left and right. So, when you say, what do they have to worry about? The professional athletes are millionaires. They're people in notoriety and all that. It's not, first of all, they could be in a car anywhere. They can get pulled over anywhere they go, and that could happen to them. You never know. Is that what it's going to take for you to understand it? Is it happening to you, happening to someone you know, happening to someone of your race, I guess? Is that what it's going to take for you to understand it? They have a voice, and they're stepping up for the people, for their people that they're trying to protect. But in the end, they're standing up for everybody. Because, whether or not they stop or they change, when they change something, hopefully they change something as far as police procedure, especially. It's gonna help everybody, not just black people. It's gonna help everybody. So it's just something to think about when you're sitting there on your lazy boy, going like, what do they have to worry about? I'm not watching the NBA. Cool. Don't watch. Do not watch the NBA. Do not watch the NFL when they do similar things, including taking a knee. Don't do it. But also don't come back when that team, your team happens to win a title. All right. Oh, yeah, was it? No, you weren't, dude, because you weren't with those people. First of all, that's the minimum right there. Right? That's on the side. Okay, but don't watch them. Here's the thing: they put their message out. They put their statement out. They put what they believe in out there. People that agree, people that agree with them, great. People that respect their ability to do it, cool. People that get mad about it and say, well, I'm not watching the NBA anymore. I'm not watching the NFL, whatever. I'm not watching Major League Baseball for doing similar things. Okay, here's the thing. You've already heard the message. You've already reacted to it. We can see you. We can see you. You just put out the kind of thoughts and the kind of person also that you are. Do you have to agree with the statement? No. Do you have to agree with what they're doing? No. Luckily, we're in America. We're allowed to disagree. But as a human being, can you live with that? As a human being, later on, when you ask for help and no one gives it to you, can you get mad? No. Tables turned down the road, hopefully not, but tables turned down the road, happens to you, happens to someone you know, and you're out here going wanting justice and it doesn't happen, you can't get mad. You were the person that said, well, I'm not watching anymore. I'm not supporting, whatever. Stay consistent. Or look in your heart, look within yourself, and find that human compassion, not American compassion, human, for humanity. The same energy people put into all these other things, trying to discredit the movement, trying to get equal rights. The same energy you put into that, put into you see if you willing to put into, all right, let's help other people. I got it pretty good. Let's see if we can help other people. We're not alone on this planet. Humanity is not an American value. Humanity is a world. It's a human race value. How are we supposed to be able to tell our kids, well, you got to care about Billy or you got to care about Mary or whatever, and when they're in school, and not bully them, and not and stand up for your friends, stand up for your. Well, how can we do all that when we're not willing to do it out here? Our kids are watching us. That's just we're the example for the children, for our children. Everyone immediately goes, oh, what about the kids? We're doing a fucking piss poor job right now. A lot of us are. So understand that you might not agree with professional athletes, rich people, whatever you want to call it, saying anything, but they're the ones with the voices right now. Because the second that if Blake comes out and says, Mr. Blake comes out and says anything, you gotta discredit him because he might have a conviction for this, or he's that, or he was involved in this, or whatever the fuck. Somehow, we're the kind of people that condemn you on every mistake ever. So let's say you get pulled over and the cops shoot you dead. Oh well, look at him. He had a bunch of speeding tickets. Is that gonna be cool? Is there you know what I mean? Like whether or not there's guilty people and all that stuff, of course there is. But whatever he did and deserved to get shot 7 times like that. George Floyd didn't deserve to get put down, put a knee on his neck because he talked back. Should have just complied. Fucking people comply all the time and get fucked up like this. And maybe it's because I grew up seeing that shit. I grew up seeing it in front of me. Mind you, to black, white, and Mexicans, and all the races, they didn't give a shit in the neighborhood that I lived in. Equal opportunity fuck you up. No one believed us either. Everyone was like, oh no, it's just bad apples, or no, I should have just complied. No, dude, people comply all the time. That word comply is funny to me right now because everyone says, oh, you should just comply. They should have just complied. Okay. How come it's the same people saying that bullshit are the ones going, I will not comply with putting on a mask. Really? Really? Why don't you just comply? What's my American right to not comply? Bitch, what? Same damn people saying, oh, you should have complied, are just, I'm not going to comply with a mask thing. That's stupid. I'm not wearing a mask at the grocery store. I will not comply. That's like the fucking new fad to put on your stupid bio on Facebook, on Twitter, and put on a t-shirt. I will not comply. Eat a dick then. You can't tell someone else to comply. Fuck you. Straight up. Now, normally I don't like to cuss when I make these kind of, these kind of podcasts and stuff like that because, I feel like almost like cussing might mess up my my argument a little bit, but at the same time, it shows how deep this issue really is, how important. So fuck them. If you're gonna tell someone they should have complied, they wouldn't have gotten shot and killed. They should have complied, they wouldn't have gotten shot and paralyzed. They should have complied, they wouldn't have gotten their ass beat by the police. They should have just complied. Well, bitch, then you comply. And if you're gonna be one of those people that says I will not comply, bitch, then don't say it ever again. Shut your mouth. And I know the reaction I'm gonna get from this podcast because it happens all the time. Because as much as people want to say no one cares, no one listens. Believe me, people listen. I can show you the numbers off of our platforms, and I get the same stupid DM. No one cares. Shut up. I don't know why you're even talking about it. It didn't affect you. Yada yada. I don't give a fuck. I'm a citizen of humanity. I'm a citizen of the world. I'm an American citizen. An American citizen that's allowed to speak his mind. The Constitution allows us to speak our mind. And yes, you can speak your mind and your opinion on whether you think my opinion sucks, and that's great. Congratulations, you were lucky to be in this country. I chose to come here and go through the process and become a citizen. That was a choice myself and my family made. Because of that, because this country allows us to speak our minds and to speak our truths and to feel the way we feel and to protest and to stand up for what we believe in without getting killed and shot and murdered in the streets like you see in other countries. So when you start throwing out the Constitution in America and the United States, yes, but remember what those values are about too. Because this wonderful country allows us to be able to protest, to be able to not comply in an order that we believe is bullshit. That allows us to speak our minds and stand up for others and fight for others without persecution. Just remember where you are, remember who you are. And just remember about your fellow man, because this is getting ridiculous that we have to speak about this constantly and have to speak to our kids about going out and getting pulled over. I've had to have that conversation with my kids. I got two of them that are driving. I'm just like, hey, if you get pulled over, hands on the steering wheel, and every move you make, you tell them. And you hit that, and they all have that little shortcut on their phone, on their iPhones, that records everything. Because you never know if it's gonna happen to your kid or you. We don't have we have somewhat of a police personnel issue, but we have a system issue that we need to fix for everybody's sake, not just black people, not just minorities, not just Latinos, not anybody, for everybody, white people included. Now, you can disregard everything I say if you want. A lot of people do it, but they usually do it out of anger because they don't like what I'm saying. I'm staying there. I'm speaking out for you too. So, anyway, I don't really talk much MMA at all. Usually I do, but there really wasn't much. Last night's episode of the Keyboard Warriors Live is up on all the platforms now: iTunes, SoundCloud, everything. On YouTube, of course. Sportscaster, Twitch, all that. Periscope. Yeah, this will be up after this live broadcast is over. This will be up within a couple hours probably. I leave it on here and then I put it on YouTube maybe a few hours later. So this will be up on YouTube as well, but it'll be up on iTunes, SoundCloud, and everything by tonight. So if you are so kind and so willing and enjoy this show and any of our podcasts, please hit the subscribe button on any platform you're using. Hit the like button if it's there. Leave a review if you could. Really, we appreciate it. And tell your friends about us. All right. Shout out to SpicyPros.com for supporting this show. And, of course, RepTheWarriors.com for supporting the Keyboard Warriors. You guys all have a wonderful, safe, and happy night, evening, day, morning, wherever you are on the planet. Because you fucking matter, too. And I give a shit about you. And I hope you're doing great. You guys have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful night, depending on where you're on the planet. I'll talk to you guys later. See you, Chicago.